to do some J-packs. So, as usual, I'm going to talk on my way there. I was thinking, what makes a bad guitar? Here we go. Go for a sort of normal type. I'll try and talk a bit louder. I know the car's not particularly quiet. It's a difficult one, what makes a bad guitar. It's like, I mean, we've all got opinions, which is fine. And just because something you don't like doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I don't like it. Yeah? I don't know. Obviously I haven't thought about what I'm going to say just now, but I was just playing a guitar there, an LTD Phoenix, which is great. It's a great guitar. To a similar extent, the Gretsch I was playing the other day, it was incredibly expensive, and it's not really what I would want in a guitar. It doesn't make it bad. It makes it. I still think it's good. It's great. I love it. Within a certain parameters, all guitars are great. They're all cool. You know, that's fine. Because it's a guitar. And guitars are cool, and even I slag off a lot of guitars all the time. But I mean, I'm not necessarily being serious about it. And it's totally fine to disagree. But there's two sides to it. You get a sort of an emotional thing, and then a substantial, practical thing. Something like that. Right, so you might not like a guitar because it's heavy, right? So that is a thing of substance. It is heavy. Yes. That might not necessarily be a bad thing. It might be. But you might like it. Maybe you like a heavy guitar. Yeah, that's totally fine. And even, I'm not even saying that, I meant heavy as in weight, but something like that, that LTD with the Fluorance pickups in it, or I kind of get it quite a lot with sort of, active-y, pick-up-y modern guitars, where if you're going to use that level of gain and stuff, yeah, it's brilliant. It's a lovely guitar, I could use it. It's not really the sort of thing that I want to sound like, I want to play. It's not the music I like, because music's very subjective. But then again, it's the same thing. You get music which I don't like, and you get music which is bad. And if there is such a thing as bad music, it's like, it depends what it is you're looking for in it. I mean, I always complain about Oasis being, shite. But that's different. I don't like Oasis, right? And I think they're shite. I don't like. I'm going to think about. I don't know. I used to not like Rush. I suppose generally I don't like Rush, but I don't think they're shite. They're just not my thing. It's kind of like that. I didn't think Metallica were particularly good, although I have grown to like quite a lot of Metallica songs. I don't think they're shite. I don't like them. Guns N' Roses, I kind of do think they're shite, but I don't. That's again, it's not a substantive thing. That's more of an emotional reaction. It's kind of difficult, isn't it? How do you judge the two? I mean, it's like when I'm comparing guitars, the things that I would think made a shit guitar is if it's the price thing does come into it. I mean, if you show me a wee, I don't know, I picked up this guitar, it plays good, you paid, I don't know, 50 quid for it or something like that. You got a wee, a square Strat or something, it's covered in dents, 50 quid, you can get it, you gave it a clean, you put new strings on it, set it up. Yeah, I could totally dig that as being great. But then again, I would like that. And maybe, again, it's maybe not something I would want myself, but there's a guy in one of those, what are those bikes called, the ones that you sit there, technically a trike, a parambolic one, looks like a sort of seat you drive when you're sitting down. What was I talking about? Yeah, so I mean, that's where something like, see, my good example, my wee red bass, right? My wee red bass cost me a tenner, and actually I missed one last week. It was missing a tuner, it was 15 quid. But that, it plays in tune, it's quite comfortable to play. You got a bass for a tenner and it works. Huh. it's a bad guitar. Or it sounds, but again, when I say it sounds bad, there is an element of subjectiveness to that, to a certain degree. And the same with how good is a guitar to a certain degree, but how much do you have to spend to get a decent guitar? And it's like, that's where I kind of come in with, see what I don't even know how much it costs now. Like the lowest, well, not the lowest Epiphone, that SL one was a bad guitar. The one above that, the Les Paul Junior, the Les Paul Tour, Special Tour, whatever it's called, the wee bolt on deck. Those guitars are fine. Not if they were 500 quid. They're not. But you can make it work, and they sound decent and all that for what it's aiming for. Maybe it doesn't sound exactly like a real Les Paul. It's not really what it is though. That comes in well. It's when the thing that gets me when I think a shit guitar, I can be, say, take your the Squire Bullet Mustang, which I rate as quite a good wee guitar. I like them. I would have one of them. I like that. Yes, it's cheap. The wood's a bit anemic, pickup, they're not great, but it's acceptable. Everything all works across the board. Good, nice wee unpresuming wee guitar. I would have that over, like, I don't know, I don't want to be too offensive to any brand of guitar, but I mean, there's guitars at 500 quid, which I think are shit because they're not really that much better than the wee £120 square bullet. So, but then again, I suppose it depends on whether I like the idea of all the money that's been spent building a guitar going into making it really good, rather than you see, I don't know, maybe even Gibsons or something like that. When you get a guitar it's got everything on it. It's got the binding. I've got a guitar that's got a fucking mother of pearl eagle on it, like full-size mother of pearl eagle on the top of it. Phil, that the thing is, that's a decent guitar from the point of view of it plays fine all the way. I don't know, it would truly depend on how much money it got for it, but the basis is all right. But then you get other guitars, like once you get too cheap, something like, I don't know, a Swift or Burswood. There's many makes that are like that, which are basically what you get is just, it's unacceptable. It's like, the pickups don't pick up the high E string. It's like that objectively is bad. I suppose you could argue, but I only ever play Keith Richards songs, so I only use 5 strings. I don't know. I think I don't even know which string it is he doesn't use. But do you know what I mean? It's like subjective thing. And again, if you're the looks of a guitar, I do appreciate that a guitar has to be more expensive if it's got fancy stuff on it. Binding costs more money than not having binding. It does. I would always be more likely to go for, I would rather have one that was better put together but less fancy looking. And you'll notice that, I've got quite a lot of Japanese guitars. I've got a shitload of Japanese guitars. Most of them are the cheaper end of the range ones though, the more basic, the simpler ones. Put it that way. I mean, some of my favourite guitars, one of my favourite guitars is the one I built with Shockenbird, which is, you can't really get a guitar that's much simpler than that. And it works really, really well. And it plays fantastic. Everything about it's wonderful. But it's a different. So when does it get? I keep slagging off Harley Benton's. I can't help it. I don't want to, because I know it's fair. It's totally possible that you can have a Harley Benton that's actually, there's a chance element in some of these things. A lot of modern guitars are they're thrown together very quickly by somebody on minimum wage, and they don't know anything about guitars. It's not built by a Luther. It's built by somebody sticking this bit of wood to that bit of wood. So, and they've got to do 5 in a minute. So it's not the same as know, even when I've had a cheap guitar, some of the ones that I say are good, that I like, maybe do need to be taken to bits, put back together again properly, sort of thing. I mean, I was in China, I bought, I don't know, half a dozen Chinese Telecasters over a couple of visits, and those guitars would be unacceptable for 300 quid when I got them. By the time I'd, you know, sorted out a couple of high frets, moved shit about, you know, just done, basically taken to bits and built them properly, taking a couple of hours rather than taking 25 seconds. It ended up with something good. The components were there, and basically those are the guitars which I mean, I've said I'm buying for 35 quid and stuff like that. There's actually, it's 36 I paid for my favourite one. The cheapest one I could find was 33. The cheapest one I could find was 30, and that was for a plain red or black, just bog standard cheapy Telecaster. And then it was only an extra 3 quid to get the fancy one, which had like it was a really nice white, but it was like binding on it, and it had a nicer bridge on it. You know, and you're talking about, okay, it's only £3 more expensive, but that's 10% more expensive. So you can understand that once you scale that up to, you know, you're selling a guitar at a shop in Glasgow for 350 quid, you're buying that for 35 quid, less than that. So if you bought it for, say you bought it for 30 quid, you're selling it for 300 quid, and then you paid 33, you're selling it for 300, you know, 330. It's like everything will accumulate on top of that. Again, another tangent that I'm not describing well. All guitars are good, sort of. Apart from ones that don't pick up all the strings, ones that actually physically hurt you, you know, bad fret jobs, all these things. And there is a certain point where you can do work on it yourself, which might not be worth it. I do appreciate that not everyone is, I'm not really just saying guitarists, it's everyone in any situation. You know, some people do, the way their brain's wired up, they're just, you know, changing the fuse in a plug is not willing to attempt that, aren't able to even. I've never been that way. I remember I got it wasn't a Skeletrix, it was a Matchbox Skeletrix. I don't know how old I must have been, about 7 or 8 or something like that, less than that. And I remember I didn't have a plug on it, you had to fit the plug, and Mum made Dad show me how to fit a plug, so I've been able to fit a plug my whole life to things. You know, obviously, before you plug it in, let me have a look at it to make sure you did it okay, but it's not, you know, I just thought, oh, you put that wee wire in there, and it's like, you know, the brown goes to, green goes to the middle, and the blue goes to the left. That's fine, I can do that. Brown goes to earth, because brown goes to the fuse, because, you know, that kind of thing, which I do get that some people are not that way inclined. And it's the same with guitars, you know, it's like some people struggle with it. There are people who play, you always see people in the guitar site slagging off folk who, you know, take their guitar into the guitar shop to get the strings changed and stuff like that, which is, I mean, fair enough. The thing is, you could be, and even the things that I'm doing, you know, fanning about with guitars, changing pickups and stuff like that, if I was a lawyer and getting £500 an hour being a lawyer, it's totally impractical for me to spend 2 hours changing pickups on a guitar. I could just pay someone else to do it. They'll charge me 100 quid. In those 2 hours I earned £1,000. You know, it's like that. So there's that element. I don't like to be putting folk down for stuff like that. I mean, I do obviously think it's a bit silly and stuff, but no, it's not anyone's fault. Everyone's just a wee bit different in how they view the world and see things. I like to think of myself as being quite practical. And even get back to guitars, I mean, the guitars I like, you know, the reason I've got all the Japanese guitars is they're very high quality and very cheap for what you get. I mean, the best bang for your buck guitars, those are the ones I've got. You know, it's like, what are the best bang for buck guitars you can get? And it's like, there is an element of, if you told me to go, I've got 2 weeks to buy a guitar, which is what most people would do, you know, it's like, oh, I think I'm starting playing the guitar, I'm just gonna, I want, you know, I just got, you know, I got a couple £100 for my birthday. I'm going to buy a guitar. What do I buy? You're on a time limit. You know, you've got the money that's burning a hole in your pocket. None of the guitars, very few of the guitars I've got, you would be able to get. You might be really, really lucky, but you've got to be willing to accept not 100% exactly what you want. I suppose it's the same if you're buying a new car. Why did you buy a brand new car? You know, you can buy one that's a year old, you know, for much, much less. And it's like, yeah, but I want a yellow one. So if you really want a yellow, which is nothing wrong with really what I'd like a yellow car, but I wouldn't, you know, so you pay extra for the specific one you want. I do get it that somebody, oh, I want a black Telecaster. So, you know, anything else isn't going to satisfy you. So for you, maybe getting a, you know, a brand new black classic white Telecaster is the best option. I wouldn't ever buy one of them. I've got that CSL one, which is a black Telecaster. It's been amazing. It didn't cost as much as a Squire does. But you can't buy. You can, if someone said like up here, right, you can 2 days to go and come, you know. Pull it in front of GCB. You know, you got to buy a black Telecaster this week. I'm not going to be able to get one like that. I don't think. Maybe, might be. It's possible, whereas I could get, you know, a Squire one. Yeah. You just go to the shop. There you go. If the shop doesn't have that one, then someone online will have it, or one of the other shops will have it. I just want, you know, not talking anything specific, but it's got to be a black one. It's got to be a black one. I do get that. I don't think that's necessarily